It may look desolate today, but there's no part of the American West that has not been touched by human influence, even in the most isolated wildernesses. This large rock is a perfect example. It may look like a normal slab that broke off when the lower rock layers eroded away, but this is the equivalent of a hotel for the Fremont or Archaic cultures for thousands of years. I spend most of my time in the desert studying Anglo-American archaeological sites, but I cannot escape the Native American presence. Every railroad line crossed lands that were once traveled, hunted, and farmed by cultures and empires that came before the presence of the white man on this continent. In fact, I found out about this site because it was excavated by archaeologists specifically because it would be destroyed by a planned railroad extension. Luckily, that railroad track was never built, and this site remains for us to visit. My adventure begins with a hike across the desert. The terrain here is dominated by layers of sandstone and shale. The soft, powdery Mancos shale sand is like trudging through a foot of cornstarch, so it's pretty tough going. The bedrock is not far below, so it is difficult for plants to catch root here, which is why there's so much open, empty sand. This is a wear rail brace, which was made by pressing steel over a die. These rail braces, as their name describes, were used to hold the rail in place on curves, so that the centrifugal motion of a train passing through the curve won't wear down the rail or wear down the spike and drive it into the tie, which can cause the rail to roll over and cause a derailment. The archaeologists actually found that the railroad builders took shelter at this site as well, never knowing that they were setting out their bedrolls in the same place as the Utes, the Fremont, and the Archaic peoples had since approximately 1800 BC. The reveal of the site is dramatic, coming to the edge of the draw and seeing the shelter rock. To the modern eye, this may be a strange place for a regular shelter camp. There doesn't seem to be any reason for people to pass this way, but there was a small spring about a mile away, and this sheltered alcove collects rainwater, allowing edible plants to flourish. Rice grass and skunk bush, for example, grow around this shelter. Seeds from both plants are found in the ancient fire pits and storage cysts that the archaeologists dug out around the shelter's overhangs. These plants may have descended from the seeds brought in by the ancient peoples, or they may have always grown here when the water lingers in the shade and provide a local food source. I have also found multiple pit houses and stone hunting blinds within a 5-mile radius of this site, which shows that people were constantly moving around. The archaeologists also found foods that were definitely brought in from elsewhere. Pinyon nuts were very common at this site. The closest pinyon trees are many miles away. Corn cobs as well indicate the agriculture of the Fremont peoples, who are known to have cultivated large fields of domestic plants in the canyons in this region. Other artifacts recovered included a juniper bark mat, many thousands of stone tool flakes, bone tools, and even potsherds, suggesting that even though this site was not continuously inhabited on the long term, people stayed here long enough to sit around and make things. Other similar sites that I have visited include extensive panels of rock art nearby. In this case, however, the only art is 2 bighorn sheep painted in red ochre in the shelter's overhang. We don't really have any definitive proof of what the Fremont people's art means, although many have tried to interpret. My experience suggests that when bighorn sheep were drawn alone, with no other figures or symbols around them, they indicate a path or a friendly place. I have been to other sites where a pair of bighorn were drawn at the mouth of a rock passage that led to an important destination. We don't know if this is an accurate or a true interpretation, but that's just how it seems to me. This shelter site is not as obvious nor exciting as the many cliff house ruins that this region of the West is famous for, but it is still a fascinating location, and proof that you must pay attention to your surroundings because even the most average spots in the desert hold incredible secrets.